Alright guys, we've got an announcement for you as far as Burnin 8s. We wanted to touch on something exciting that's coming up here. We always love this time of year. It's Expo season. And we've got the Wisconsin Musky Expo coming up March 17th through the 19th, 2023. We got Rich Reiner here. He's back in Wisconsin, just freshly moved back this morning, basically. Right?
Yeah, basically it's kind of different. We're not. It's not in Jake's basement in the studio, right. Musky studio, right. the Musky cave.
Yep. We're just we want to get the word out and get you guys prepped as far as some dates, some info, and we'll probably touch on a few new baits that are going to be there that you guys can check out, get your hands on, and hopefully put to work for the next season here. So as far as the dates, we said March 17th through the 19th.
Right.
It's at the Central Wisconsin Expo and Convention Center in Wausau, Wisconsin, and it's a great event. It's a great venue. We've been there the last few years, and it's awesome. I mean, we enjoy it.
I think the people they come, they see you guys there, and I think they love it. They see you in your videos, but then all of a sudden they actually get to see you in person. They get to meet Rachel, and they, the real backbone behind this organization, and Shelly, and
yeah. I mean, we always enjoy it too with the fans. Getting to talk to them one-on-one. See who's actually watching our videos, and in addition to our booth, there's going to be a ton of other people there. So, yeah. I mean, maybe we could touch on, who's all going to be there.
First of all, you talked about the dates, March 17th through the 19th, but just so people know, because they're always asking all the time, the doors open up on 2 o'clock on Friday. We close at 8 o'clock that night. Then on Saturday they open up at 9 o'clock again. I think we go to 6, and then Sunday, of course, 9 o'clock till 3.
Yep.
So
3 full days basically, right, of anything musky you can think of. I mean, you got the booths, plus you got speakers coming in too that are going to be giving seminars.
But I think here's the thing: what we do different with the Wisconsin Musky Expo. We kind of looked for the guys that do the seminar. We look for guys that are basically fishing guides that are going to give you really good, honest information. They may not be some big name guide, but in all honesty, these guys are, probably the core of the musky fishing world. They just don't, they don't put a banner out there and wave it around to tell you all about themselves. I know one of the guys on Friday night is Brian Klein. A lot of you guys that follow, Facebook, Instagram, they're very familiar with Brian Klein. He's very successful in Green Bay. His trolling techniques are very productive, and so I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to see that as well. We got a full line of guys on Saturday,
including yourself, right?
Well, yeah. Mike keeps pushing me into doing that stuff, and I do it, and I hope everybody enjoys it and they really get something from it. But I'd rather kind of start backing away right now if I can. Sunday, we got, for those of you that aren't familiar with tournament musky fishing, Nate Osfar is like the hot dude, in the tournament world, and he's a darn good musky fisherman. And when he speaks, he's kind of like Merrill Lynch. I mean, everybody listens. When he talks, he's a great fisherman. We got, after Nate Osfar, we've got Mike Keys are going to be speaking, and then we've got Corey Olson on Sunday. So, we've got a good lineup of speakers. Yeah. A lot of guys right now, they're going crazy. They want to get out musky fishing. Saturday, for instance, we got Steve Jonasy. He's over in Iowa, and he's been around this business a long time. And if you want to get out and do some early musky fishing, you can talk with him at the show. Right. But he'll be opening the show at... and then we've got a couple panels. We got one for Southern Wisconsin, and then we also have one, I think, for Green Bay as well.
Bay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
that'll be interesting. So plenty to take in as far as the seminars are concerned. And then maybe we want to touch on a few of the baits and products that.
Sure. One of the things we try to do at the Wisconsin Musky Expo, different from some other shows, is we try to really look for the small local companies that that are making baits here in Wisconsin.
We kind of studied in some of our videos too, the small batch manufacturers.
The small batch manufacturers, to me, these guys, they're not making thousands of baits. Now, there's nothing wrong with guys that are making thousands of baits. Right. It's just these guys, are really dialed in, and they're really fussy. One of the baits that we'll have at the show, and he's been there the last few years, is TR Custom Lures. This is a bait that I originally made. It was called a turtle topper, and we were out fishing. I was fishing with Tim Radis, and he loved it. He loved the sound. He loved the way everything was, on the bait. And he says, "You mind if I make these?" Well, I was all about that. Go ahead. But also, he's got a new bait coming out. It's called a Big Al. I think there's going to be a video out here shortly where there was 2 4-foot, 48 inchers caught on the bait. Guys that don't even musky fish. And when you hear this bait coming through the water, I'm telling you, it's pretty awesome. But, you definitely need to look for Big Al. A lot of guys are talking about it. They're not going to last. So if you can get there and get one of those, then you're going to be lucky. I even have a hard time getting them. So,
yeah. But,
TR, small batch, manufacturer, he'll be there.
Yep.
That other bait, that's coming is, he's been out for a couple years. It's called a donkey tail.
Yeah, we touched on that in one of your videos.
Yep, it's made, by Corey Olson. He's a musky guide up in Eagle River, or actually Conover, Wisconsin. And this bait actually is a great cold water bait. And I think you were working with this bait. It's got a lot of action in its tail, but it's got that slow dive and then rise, and it comes up.
Very nice looking.
And it's very nice looking. And there's a lot of the guys that have these. Again, he's a small batch manufacturer, and he's at the point now where the people that do know about this bait, he can't even keep up. This is the new 6-inch. Then he's got a little bit larger size.
Sure.
Let's see, the other thing, we touched on this in one of the videos. The curly spin. And a lot of people have been asking where to find these. We've mentioned before, it's made by Enticer Tackle. You guys, I gave you some to fish with.
Yeah.
And
they work.
Well,
they work.
You tell them.
We got a video that's that's the one I've been having trouble editing, but we got a video that's going to showcase. I mean, it shows we had a great day with them, and they definitely provide some good thump in the water. We're looking forward to fishing them again next year. So
you wouldn't think it would.
No.
When you look at the little blade,
right.
But this bait, when you're trying to cover water, and the fish are, we've talked about strike zones and all that kind of stuff. This will get in those fish's face, and you can cover water with this curly spin. And it doesn't look like a lot, but it catches a lot of fish.
It does.
I think musky fishermen buy musky baits because of how good they look. But the fact of it is, it doesn't have to look great, or it doesn't have to have, all the Christmas lights and bells and whistles.
Yeah.
This bait produces a lot of fish on a consistent basis, and very few people are even aware of this bait. But you guys are, and there's been several testimonies, I think, in that video where guys bought them and they went and caught big fish on them. So.
Well, they work. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they look for the Enticer Tackle booth, and they'll be there also.
Yep.
Okay. One of the things, if you don't mind me mentioning,
yeah.
and you know this, Ross.
Yeah.
You've been fishing my bucktails for a few years now. Okay.
Yep.
And so, I never made a whole lot of them. I made a few hundred a year. They always disappeared. Guys caught big fish on them. Fish in general, they did well with them, but due to some of the things I have going on in my life health-wise, I just can't. I need to focus on that. So, Babe Campbell from Big Guy Baits, I sat and spent some time with him and taught him how I tune these baits and how I build them, and he's doing just as good a job as I ever did. He's doing a great job. He's dressed up a little bit. He put a new sticker on there, Rich's Ambush. That's pretty cool,
It's cool.
But, these are going to be in the Big Guy booth. I think he's going to run 18 colors. I think he made you guys 3 custom colors.
Yep, we'll have some custom Burnin colors in our booth. So,
right.
I mean, they're a great running bait. They provide a ton of vibration, and it's almost annoying to the fact that you can feel that vibration in your rod tip with those, and they definitely call it the fish.
Sure. So those are going to be in the Big Guy booth. And when I'm speaking about Big Guy Baits, this past fall, one of the baits that Big Guy makes, this is his countdown. He's bringing these to the show this year. This thing was hot. In the month of November, guys down in southern Wisconsin were catching all kinds of fish on this thing. But this has been a real hot bait for Big Guy Baits, is his countdown. He makes them in 2 sizes. But again, he'll have them in his booth as well. Another thing is pretty cool that's coming. We talked about jigs.
Yep.
Okay. So the guy that makes my jigs watched your video, and then so he calls us. He calls Mike and says he wants to come to the show. From Cougar Baits.
Yeah.
His name is Max Kaufman. So a lot of people really didn't see these baits up close. Okay. For instance, this is his perch. okay? And I mean, I don't know if all the, when I use his jigs, I use a solid black and yellow. I use yellow on bright sunny days, it shows up on the afternoon. But, this is a perch pattern he makes.
Yeah, looks nice.
It looks, it's got an orange blade in tough conditions, as I've said in the video in the past. These things, really catch fish, but you can't hardly get a musky fisherman to even use a jig, but they're missing the boat. This will catch plenty of muskies for you.
Right.
This one here, didn't you want a purple? I think you wanted a crappie pattern, didn't you? You asked about a crappie pattern?
Crappie or perch, I think.
Yeah, well, you know what, you'll have a chance to meet Max.
Right.
He will have a booth at the show this year. One of the last big companies I'm going to talk about, this is probably one of the best kept secrets in the musky bait industry. There's a gentleman that lives down in, south central Wisconsin. His name is Tom Harrison. He's a 70-year-old man, but, we were at breakfast this morning and some guy said, well, we never heard this guy. I started pulling out my phone and showing him all these pictures of all these huge fish he catches. He just goes out, he does his things. He's a guru when it comes to catching muskies. The key thing is he makes his own baits. And that's what all he uses, his own baits. When we did the glider video, I couldn't really say anything about this because I really didn't know how many he could produce or if he really wanted, this to happen. But, and all the baits I mentioned in that video were great gliders, but when it gets down to it, this is one of my main gliders I use.
It's a nice looking bait.
It's called a Tom's Super Glide. His company's called Tom's Custom Musky Baits.
Okay.
And another bait that a lot of guys have lost touch with that, whether it's Tom's or anybody else's, he makes a walk the dog bait.
Cool.
This is his Plum Crazy. His baits really work well. He's got 3 sizes, of this bait, and but Tom's going to be there. But I'm telling you, he makes some great baits. They're not easy to find, and you're going to find them at the Wisconsin Musky Expo.
Great.
Okay, so he'll be there.
Yep.
Now, a lot of these are all smaller guys. They're all smaller guys.
Right.
But then we also have the big guys.
Yeah, you still got the big
You've
guys
got
there.
Team Rhino there. You got Ross's Sport Shop is going to be there. You got Taps and Tackle from Stevens Point, and Chaos Tackle's there. And Chaos Tackle, when I look at the rod industry, I've been doing this a long, long time. And there was a couple companies that were like on top of the heap. They were the company. And now what's happening is Chaos, who originally made the Medusa, went into the rod business, and they've got their line of musky rods, and actually they're the musky rod today. They've actually surpassed all the other companies, and the interesting thing, this looks like a musky rod to everybody else, but in actuality, and this, look how light this thing is.
They're super nice. I mean,
Oh.
we've used them for a number of years now, and that's the one nice thing about the expo, though. You can get there and put your hands right on it and actually feel it and check them out.
Yes.
So
Mass-produced rod, this is probably one of the finest, rods on the market that you're going to buy.
yeah, the 2020 and the original are.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
2020 is
assault
lighter,
sticks.
but both the lines of assault sticks.
Yeah.
They've worked great for us.
And the impressive things about this 2020 is the fact is how light this is. And,
Right.
as I get older, I don't want to be throwing a club anymore.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they also have a full line of rods. So
Yep.
definitely stop by at the Chaos Tackle booth.
Yep.
As you said before, there's baits, rods, reels, guides, all kinds of stuff, resorts at the show.
Right.
And we've even got musky stuff. But something that's going to be unique to the show this year is there's a lady down in Wisconsin. She's local. Her name's Melissa Gaul. She actually makes custom tumblers.
Really?
And I've seen all her tumblers. She's got like wood grain. She's got these muskies coming around, getting ready to grab, like they're getting ready to grab a bait or stuff. But you know what? She can do anything. The woman's so talented. And she made this mug for you guys,
Nice.
this tumbler.
That's awesome. That's unique.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got your logo and stuff, so,
Yeah, show the camera that. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. She does a great job. She's really talented. She's one person, and she can only make so many, and I got a feeling from some of the people making comments on Facebook, they're gonna go, but definitely stop by and, and check out, Melissa's tumblers and stuff, so.
So plenty to look at.
Oh yeah, we could go on, but you know what? You got a short period of time.
Yeah.
There's plenty to look at. March 17th through the 19th. The show will be at the Central Wisconsin Convention Center.
Yep.
It's it's in actually it's Rothschild, I
Right,
guess,
right.
but
The greater Wausau area. So
yeah,
but-
it's
Yeah.
it's easy to get to. It's off Highway 51.
right
I
off,
mean,
right off of 51, easy to get to.
Yeah.
We'll have our booth there. We'll have some apparel there, and we're looking forward to talking to you guys. So hopefully stop by and.
Russ, I drove up last night from Florida, 25 hours, and when I got here and I got out of the truck, I'm thinking, oh, that's right, it gets cold up here. I had shorts on, I had to put drawers on, I had to put my Burnin 8 sweatshirt.
There you go.
You really do have, you know what? I got your T-shirt underneath this, and I've got those. I got one of those also. Those are pretty comfortable too,
Yeah.
but I had to wear this one today.
That's good to hear.
You know?
So you still got the flip flops on though.
That's
so.
right, I got flip-flops,
Back in
that's
Wisconsin
right.
with flip flops
So-
on in February, but
Exactly.
well, I think that should do it, huh?
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up, and looking forward to seeing you guys. It is show season, and Minnesota is actually the weekend before your expo.
Yep, the Minnesota Musky Expo is the weekend before ours. It's run by Paul Hartman. He does a great job over there.
So great. So plenty for you guys to check out and get amped up for the new season here as far as Musky Expo. So hopefully you'll see you around, and we gotta thank you for watching this episode. See you guys later.